One of these days.
Hey, Andrea.
Hey, Courtney, how's it going?
Doing well.
How you doing?
Doing well. I'm up here at Diver Supplies having a demo day today.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw that.
Mhm.
I'm in between tennis practices. Two of my teams made it to state, so
What?
since I'm done here, I got to go back to practice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna start letting people in, okay?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, good.
You address the situation.
It was bad timing, uncoordinated timing, and I'm not saying she has, but you know, when you get it from my face, don't expect me to not participate in the language that you might understand. Oh, food. See, I had to do that out in the open. I had to bring my skills back in. Remember my training. Look at Philip. Oh.
Hey, Cortland, how you doing? This is William Landers.
Hey, William, how are you today?
Good, good. Who do I talk to get my information updated with my email address? Because it seems like it's going to an old email address. And I tried Member Planet, but somehow I didn't get through.
Yeah.
So who do I talk to?
I'm gonna push this off to Jennifer Ford.
Okay,
She likes
so
Member Planet. So all I want you to do is, can you hold on for 1 second?
sure.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Am I back?
Yes, you are. I
Yes, you
hear you.
are.
All right, give me a second.
Correct?
That was my deputy safety officer calling me. I had to
Mhm.
take that. Otherwise, there'd be consequences and repercussions. We're trying to get in. Let me see if I can help.
Will, so you said you tried to go into Member Planet?
Yeah, and somehow it wasn't saying it recognized my email. So I didn't know what email they had, and do I have to re-register, or what do I do at that point?
You should be able to reset your password using your email. But you're saying you don't know which email you had in there.
Well, I think, the old email is wplanner@optonline.net, and it really should be william5918@me.com.
So you
That's-
tried logging in with that email address, correct?
You know what? I'll try again. I just know that when I tried to log in, whatever I tried to log in with, it just didn't recognize
Right.
me.
So
Excuse me.
there's also a help desk with Member Planet as well. If you still have trouble, you can contact them directly and they should be able to help you too.
All right, I'll try that then.
But also email Jennifer, she is the expert.
It's not.
Is it secretary at NABS?
No, it's just emails, what is it? Correspond at nabsdivers.org.
Thank you, Andrew.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm looking it up, trying to see which one it was.
It takes a village.
Okay.
Change my skirt.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Hey,
Jennifer, how's it
Jennifer.
going?
Good, good. How are you?
That is a great possibility for the new office.
It's Saturday, middle
Yes.
of the day.
Happy Saturday. No work today. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, I should eat this.
Thinking about moving shit around. Well, I don't know if we think that way.
Oh, there's Reginald. Hey, y'all. Reginald, Will, Vanessa.
Yeah, you guys don't mind that. What? Replenish the earth. Whatever makes you happy. I accept you, and you're new. All right, well. You like to depart? To leave? I do, stuff, put paper stuff.
What's up, Jay? Hey, V.
Oh, I thought that. Okay. Hey, y'all.
Willa
Willie.
Banks, welcome. There she is, Deputy Safety Officer, Miss Ruthie. Welcome, Leslie Logan. John
Can you
Marie.
hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, I couldn't get it on the computer. But I got the link that you sent me, so I can get it on my phone.
All right.
Hi, Madam President.
Hello, Deputy Safety Officer. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you.
Awesome.
I got so.
Hey, Jennifer Jones. John Marie, always a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Mr. Butts, how you doing?
Extremely well.
All right.
They have a demo day at Diver Supply at a local dive shop here. So they got discount prices and vendors and people are going back and forth.
You see anything good on sale?
Well, you know what they told me? The shop owner said, because I'm an instructor, and he does this for all the instructors, our discount is better than anything that they're going to offer to the public.
Word. Yeah, that's most shops anyway. Yeah.
What shop is that?
Diver Supply in Marietta.
Oh, okay. That's y'all's shop.
I didn't mean to be rude. Hello, everybody. I had my mood on. This is Leslie Logan.
Hi, Leslie Logan.
Hi.
Leslie, your photograph is so beautiful. That's a great photo.
Thank you. I tried to put my little scuba diving photo on that Melvin took for when I was having my class, but I didn't have time to get it on.
All right.
So
Still a great photo.
Thank you. Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. I was here last month for that, but it was very technical. It was over my head for all of the breathing and multiple cylinders and all that. I was like, maybe one day I'll get there.
Over mine too.
You got the best part, Leslie. You got the part that you needed to get. Breathing.
I definitely did.
Breathing, that's right.
Breathing. That's the part that you needed to know about. Breathing.
Exactly. And that's what I got. This is going to be a good session this time too. I'm getting certified June 20th and 21st at Pearl Lake. I've been working with Dive Right In Scuba in Orland.
In where?
In Orland Park, Illinois.
What state? Illinois.
Illinois,
Awesome.
yes.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I was trying to wait on James, but after COVID, he had trouble getting back into the pool area at Carver. So I went on and had an opportunity to take advantage of a class. It took me almost 4 months because I had to get clearance from my doctors from previous asthma, cancer, old age, high blood pressure, all of that jazz. But it took 4 months. I was steadfast, and I finally got the okay from my pulmonary and my primary to take the class. So now I've done with everything, and I'm just waiting on the weather to warm up a little bit. Jump in.
Awesome. Are you planning to attend the summit in November?
I would love to.
Awesome. We hope we see you there.
Great. I'd love to meet you all. And I've been seeing stuff on NABS for the last couple of years. And this is one of my bucket lists. I just learned how to swim in 2019 and 2020. And it was on my bucket list. So after COVID, and I said, okay, well, next thing now that I'm swimming laps is open water and scuba. And I'm getting there.
Outstanding.
You love it. That is fantastic.
Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll continue to let people in. Officially, y'all, this is the Saturday Scuba Tip. And every fourth Saturday of the month, the Saturday Scuba Tip is live from AquaCorps. AquaCorps is the AquaCorps committee is dedicated to supporting the members of NABS through our STEP objectives. STEP standing for safety, training, education, and professionalism. So with us, trying to deliver something special every month, it prepares us for the summit or just prepares us for diving in general. I'm going to ask the 4 questions that we always ask every time we come here of our presenter today. And she'll just go ahead and knock them out, and probably during her presentation, she'll take care of all of these. So the first question that we're going to ask, Andrea, is what got her involved in scuba diving in the first place? All right. Just in general, what got you into scuba? Next question, what got you involved in NABS? And maybe the first 2 are one and the same, but we want you to speak to, and this is how I found the National Association of Black Scuba Divers. Third question we want to ask is AquaCorps. Now that you're in NABS, what led you to want to be a dive leader serving on the AquaCorps committee? And the last question, obviously, is what are we here for? What's your presentation about? What are you going to tell us? Andrea, the floor is yours.
All right, do I have permission to share?
I am going to see if I can make that happen. Give me a second.
So you're saying that? I started with GoPro.
Hey, Donna. Oh, she went away. Oh, there she is.
How are you?
I'm great. Great seeing you.
All right, you should have permissions now.
Thank you.
Good. Nice. You're not just showing.
So is everyone able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Awesome. So good afternoon, everyone. I am Andrea Williams, your current president of the National Association of Black Scuba Divers. And I'm so excited to be here this afternoon to speak to you all and share in this presentation. I'll make a quick note, and that is, as I'm going through this, I hope Cortland and someone else who has hosting abilities can stop me. If there are questions, please, I can answer them as I go through the presentation. This is should be more of a discussion and best practices that we could all glean from one another. This is not definitive by any means, but simply a conversation starter. So I'll go ahead and get started, and I will answer those 4 questions throughout this presentation. So I am Andrea Williams. I've been a member of NABS since 2009, and I can tell that story real quick. 2009, I was working on my advanced open water, and I hadn't joined a club. Back up. Yeah, I had do my advanced open water up at Dutch Springs. And I was the only woman in my class, the only Black person in my class. Yeah, and that same weekend, I was walking down to go into the water, and my instructor had poorly prepared me for the class. Guess I should have done my research, but I'm walking down in a pair of socks. Like, if anyone knows Dutch Springs, you know how gravelly it is, and was not a good look for me walking down. a woman stopped me. It was a Black woman. Her name, Black woman stopped me and asked me if I wanted to borrow her boots. I'm saying, yeah, yeah. So I got her boots, wore the boots for the rest of my dives, and completed my certification. When I finished that, I went around looking for this woman. As I was looking for her, I kept seeing other Black divers. They were everywhere. And I'm like, dang, where did they come from? And I thought I was the only one. Well, it turns out that the Atlantic Rangers out of Pennsylvania was hosting their annual family weekend. It was Labor Day weekend. So Atlantic Rangers were there, Underwater Adventure Seekers were there, AVSC was there, all sorts of clubs from all over were there. And I was seeing all these Black people. I was sold. I'm like, what? So that night I signed up and joined NABS, and then I also joined the Aquatic Voyager Scuba Club. So I've been a member of both. Um, and that got me into diving hardcore again, because I got certified back in 1991 when I was in graduate school. I got into aquacore after joining NABS. That was in 2009. 2013, I became a dive professional, and that's your first opportunity to become an aquacore member. I wanted to become an aquacore member because I remember watching Jay Hagler, Vanessa Hagler, Kamal Siddiqui on some trip, I forget where we were, and how their neutral buoyancy was perfection. I'm like, I want to be like that. I want to dive like that. I want to be like them. Now, I think it was after a couple of summits I attended and saw them. I'm like, this is it. I'm going to do this. So I became a dive professional, and I've been working ever since trying to get my buoyancy together to be like them. I don't know if I've arrived to that yet, but I love aquacore. I'm so glad to be able to serve. And I like those step objectives because we're all learning. Diving is never done. You're never done learning when it comes to diving. You shouldn't be in life either, for that matter. You can see my credentials here. I don't need to belabor all these. I want to get to the discussion, but yeah, so I talked about NABS, how I got into diving, how I got into, well, actually, I'll skip this page and go to the next one. So a little bit of more of my background. I do come from a family of divers. I think my mom is the only one that's not certified. As I mentioned, in 1991, I finished my open water, and then in 2009, I did my advanced. And you can see the professional things that I've done. And I'm currently working as a PADI IDC staff instructor. So what prompted me to talk about dive buddies today? Well, there are a couple of things that happened. First, I'll mention that when we go diving this November together at the summit, dive buddies are going to be very, very important. We want to make sure that you select and choose someone that you can trust and depend on. We'll talk about throughout this conversation. But another reason why I created this presentation was I had someone from another club had mentioned, well, they were on a trip, all these incidents that were happening, and the majority of them could have been avoided had the dive buddies prepared themselves properly. And we'll talk more about that. And I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to out anyone or any one club because of what had happened. But had they gone through these utilized good buddy skills, then they probably could have eliminated a lot of the issues that happened on that particular trip. So here we are today. I love this photograph because, oops, let me go back. We see former UAS president and former NABS treasurer Kim Walker on the left there, me in the middle, and then Justin Lovett, who is the current president of Unicorns of Diving Club, and they're based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We were all working with BIMS, Black and Marine Sciences instructors, for their program, and it was actually a lot. That was last year. I think that was in Juneteenth, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, do you know your dive buddy? First question you should ask, and hopefully, if you don't, you're going to get to know someone, get to know them. You can ask them questions like, when was your last dive? And what was your maximum depth? You can just have a conversation about diving, get to know them, what they like to do while they dive. Do they like to lead? How close do you want to be? All those things you need to have a conversation about. I can tell you, when you're the only one on the boat, this has happened to me many times. Well, happened to me many times before. Only Black person on the boat, probably the only woman on the boat. They buddy you up. You get underwater, and your dive buddy leaves you. And that has happened. And it was someone other of another race diving with me. But they left me underwater. So thank God I was been trained to survive as a solo diver, but doesn't mean I want to dive alone. I want to trust my buddy. Get back on the boat, and I asked them, what happened? Why'd you leave me? And they were like, oh, we just wanted to go the other way. I'm like, okay, fine. But then they saw what I was like, how I dived underwater, and then all of a sudden things changed. They want to know everything about me. Where did you train? Who taught you? And where do you dive and what do you do? I'm like, yeah, okay, well, y'all didn't want to talk to me before, but had I had a better conversation with my dive buddy, then perhaps they would have stayed. I don't know, probably not. But the point here is, do you know your dive buddy? If you don't, get to know them so that you all can have a beautiful dive experience. Again, as I'm going through this, I hope someone's monitoring so that if there are questions or if you'll make comments as well, please do so. Again, this is a conversation. I don't want to be the only one talking. So once you met your dive buddy and you guys you know each other kind of well, you know what you like to do underwater, decide on your dive plan. Excuse me, I'm going to move this because I can't see. You need to agree on your positioning. Do you want to be on the left side all the time when you're diving? Do you want your buddy on the right? Where do you want to be? How far apart do you want to be? Arms, for me, an arm's length is good. If someone that I don't know, I want to be a little bit closer. I want to be able to stay close to my dive buddy. And what's really important here is to actually listen to the instructions from your dive briefing. That's going to tell you a lot about and help inform what you do after you've heard the dive briefing, how you're going to dive your dive plan based on that briefing. And also remember the rule of thirds. A third of a tank to get to where you want to go, a third of a tank to visit that site, and then another third to get back. So remember, as you're planning your dive, to think about these things and keeping you and your buddies safe and knowing what's going on this dive. People have asked, I think I talked about this in another slide, but I'll mention it here as well. If you know one of your partners, one of you is going to have a camera or both you're going to have a camera, have that conversation as well. Who's going to point and find out things and discover things for you, and who's going to take the photos? Because if you don't know the person that you're diving with, that may be a bit of a challenge. And that's something that you need to consider when you're diving, and if you're diving with someone who has a camera as well. Okay, why is it not advancing? So I'm going to reiterate it again. Plan your dive and dive your plan. This can't be emphasized enough. There's nothing else left here to say but to move on. But remember this is key. Do in your conversation with your dive buddy, discuss hand signals. I know that typically in the briefings, they'll go over some with you. The diver on the left is Ron Reese, another dive professional with AquaCorps. He's showing the OK sign. That's very important. To the right there, we've got some signs and signals for different animals that you can see underwater. We see a lionfish, alligator, lobster, turtle, and then shark. But make sure that you all agree on the signals before you go down, that you agree that okay means okay, and your thumbs up means that you want to go up. Thumbs down means you want to go down or descend. So make sure that you agree on that, you review your signals and that you agree to them. So that goes back to diving your plan and planning your dive and diving your plan. So make sure you have this conversation. Make sure you do a complete buddy check. What's the word? It's not an acronym. What's the word? The mnemonic is BWRAF. Your BCD, your weights, your releases, your air, and then your final check. I like to use some of these mnemonics to help me remember them. Black women really are fine. Bruce Willis ruins all films. Belgian waffles really are fantastic. Big white rabbits are fluffy. Those are some things that help me remember this mnemonic to help me do the buddy check. So when you're checking the BCD, make sure you familiarize yourself with your buddy's BCD. You should already know yours. If you don't, you need to familiarize yourself with that one as well. But know your buddy's BCD. Where are the weights and the weight pockets on the BCD? Are there trim pockets on their tank? Need to know that. Where are the releases for the tank, for the BCD, for the shoulder straps, for the weights, for the cummerbund if there is one? All these things are important in terms of knowing where the releases are. You never know what can happen. You need to be prepared. The A stands for air. Is the air on? Can you breathe off the regs? Can you breathe off the safety octo? Make sure you check the air, especially to make sure it's on. And then F is your final check. Are you okay to do this dive? Do you want to do this dive? If you get to that point and you say no, then that's fine. Don't dive. You don't feel comfortable, you don't feel safe, then don't do it. Help your buddy is going to have to find someone else to dive with, but safety always comes first. That's most important. So on your dive, we just reviewed the signals. So make sure you communicate and communicate often with your dive buddy. You're going to ask them if they're okay. You should also know each other's air, how much you have, and then also how much your buddy has, so that if the dive master stops and asks how much air you have, you can tell them yours. If your buddy isn't paying attention, you can tell them theirs. But make sure you know each other's air and that you guys stay close together and you're communicating often. Just checking on each other, making sure, acknowledging that you are aware that each other is there. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. So follow your instincts. If you need to end the dive, talk to your buddy, make sure, sign to your buddy, have a let them know that you're wanting to go up. You can show them why. You can say, I want to go up because my ear hurts, or I want to go up because I'm getting a cramp. It's okay to call a dive. Just make sure you communicate with your dive buddy. And also, if you're being led on a dive, let the dive master know. You can signal to them that you want to go to the boat, go up to the boat. Do that, but let your buddy know, and don't leave until the people in charge, if there's someone else in charge, to know that you need to go up. Buddy diving in Bonaire is going to be especially it's not challenging, but it's going to be especially important that you have buddies, because you're going to have the opportunity to do a lot of shore diving. And maybe it's just you and your buddy and you want to go. There's not going to be a dive leader. So the two of you must be able to communicate, and communicate often and communicate well, so that you are both in a know what's going on your dive. This is important to me because I love the underwater world and I want there to be a world for everyone else to dive and see. So if we respect marine life, there will be some for everyone else to see. So don't touch anything underwater unless you're on a dive against debris and you're allowed to pick up trash, and it's okay to do that. Especially it's not okay to pick up trash and debris in marine protected areas. So make sure you know where you're diving and know that it's okay. But don't touch the animals. I like to give the example of someone comes into your house, you don't want them touching all your stuff, right? So when we go into the ocean, that's someone else's home, essentially. We don't want to touch anything there unless we're actually doing some work that we're allowed to do so, or if we're doing work where we're cleaning up. So be careful, respect the marine world. This isn't a final thing. So enjoy the dive, have fun, but have fun responsibly. That means you're going to have fun. You're going to point out things to your buddy. Make sure that you have a camera, as I said before, take turns leading and pointing. And one person will use their camera, and the other person will find objects to photograph. And then you can switch on the next dive, or at some point during the dive, but you can take turns leading and take turns shooting and pointing out things for each other. Why do I have this on here? I don't remember. All right, cool. So you've done a great dive. You've had a great time. You saw everything you wanted to see. You saw that octopus. You saw the mantas. You got to see some stingrays as well. Even some cool nudibranchs. You got all kinds of good photographs and got to see a lot of good things. So now you're going to get ready for your safety stop. All of us should have our own dive computers. If you don't, you're renting one for your dives that you're doing until you're able to get your own. I always tell my students that my computer, this brain here, is smarter than this one right here. So I'm always going to follow my dive computer when I'm diving, no matter what it tells me. If I've only done a dive to 60 feet for, I don't know, for maybe 50, 60 minutes, and my computer tells me to stop at 35 feet for 3 minutes or 2 minutes, I'm going to do that because that's what the computer said to do. Then I'm going to go up to 15 feet and it's going to tell me again to do the final safety stop for 3 minutes. I'm going to follow that, or it may say 5, whatever. I'm going to follow what my computer tells me to do. And then I will safely go up. Remember, on your ascent, when your computer is clear, and I like to use this signal for clear, once your dive computer is cleared and it's safe to go up, left hand hold your low pressure hose, your right hand is above your head, and you're looking up to make sure there's nothing above you, and slowly let air out of your BCD, exhale, and then kick up to the surface. Get to the surface and you can inflate your BCD. But make sure you do a complete safety stop with your dive buddy. You guys have your own computers and you're following your computers. My computer may clear out before my buddies. I'm not going to leave them at the safety stop. I'm going to stay there and wait until theirs clears. Unless the dive master tells me to go up, then I'll follow their instructions. But otherwise, I'm staying with my buddy from the beginning of the dive to the end of the dive.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you and your buddy have your computers and one says to stay for 3 minutes and yours says to stay for 5, what do you do? Compromise, or do you go with whatever the longest?
Nope. Both of you follow your own computers, but you stay with your buddy. So if yours said 3 and yours cleared and your buddy still has 2 more after yours is cleared, you stay and wait with them.
Okay.
Unless the dive master tells you to go, it's okay to go up. But otherwise, you stay with your dive buddy until they have their computer is clear.
Okay, got you. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Great question. As I just said, I said this in the previous slide, but so make sure you surface and you exit safely. Check around, make sure there aren't any other boats around you. Find your boat. Hopefully they'll be right there. They can get you to the surface, get you back on the boat. So once you're back, go ahead.
No, that was very good.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry.
No, I said I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna take myself off mute because I'm taking lots of notes.
Thank you. All right, so once you've got back on the boat, so now it's time for you and your buddy. You take your gear off, you change your kits over for your second dive. Make sure you discuss with your dive buddy the dive itself. What did you like about it? What did you see? Do you remember the name of that organism or whatever it was? So make sure you share the dive. If there were any issues underwater, make sure you discuss them and bring some clarity to that issue. Maybe your buddy bumped you or something you didn't know, and he loosened something on your kid. So bring it up. Say, oh, I just noticed underwater that we bumped into each other and that caused my BCD to do blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, make sure you have a conversation and try to resolve whatever that issue is, if there is an issue, but just talk about your dive and get clarity about how you can make your next dive better. And if you have questions, it's always great to ask a dive professional for assistance, especially when it comes to diving techniques. A lot of people, when they first start diving, sometimes have issues with how they breathe underwater or consuming air rather quickly. So one thing is a good tip for that is to learn how to breathe. I do this in yoga. Inhale on an odd numbers, like I'll inhale and count to 5. When I exhale, I'm going to count to 7 or 9. The reason I'm doing that is, 1, is helping me stay calm, and 2, is just helping me stay relaxed and breathing on a nice, even, steady breath and exhale, inhalation and exhalation. So those are things to do, great things to ask dive professionals for if you have questions about anything when it comes to different diving techniques. I couldn't think of the word. One thing that I am keen on is logging my dives. I have all of my dive logged since 91. I have all of them. I can go back to any place that I've been, check it out. and see what I wore that day, what the temperature was like, what were the dive sites that I visited. I have all that information recorded in my logbook. So yeah, record the dive site, what you saw, what were the temperatures, what you wore. Was it a full suit? Was it a shorty? Did you only wear a skin? How thick was your wetsuit? How deep did you go? How much time did you spend underwater? My dive computer, I'm lucky, it tells me how much air I consumed, how much air I started with, and how much I ended, so I can record that information. If I've dived nitrox, I can record that too. My computer tracks all of that and the temperatures as well. So I'm fortunate that way, and I think all of us have something similar to that, so we can keep track of our log dives. Some people have gone the way of the digital, and I'm still old school. I like pen and paper, so that's how I keep my logs, but digital is okay for those who like it. But if you can, get your dive buddy to sign your logbook. And also the dive shop. They have some cool stamps. You can collect some neat stamps from around the world as you continue to dive.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Isn't your logbook something like your credentials as well, so that you can advance in your, like if you wanted to become a master diver and instructor and so forth?
Absolutely. That's a great question. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so your logbook is your record of what you've done. In some shops, if you travel around the world, they'll ask to see your logbook, see when your last dive was, how deep you went. That will show and verify for you that you've been diving, you dived often and got some cool places. But yes, you're absolutely right. That can be. And if you have it digitally, they can ask to see that as well. You can share that as well. So either way, I just think it's easier for me to carry my logbook with me, because I like to get the stamps or the stickers that they give you to put in there. Yeah. And I like recording who I dive with too. That's kind of fun to see. Lots of people, but anyway. So another cool thing you can do after your dive, especially if you've taken lots of photos, is to share them. These are some of the photos that I've taken along the way. I think this is in Egypt and Costa Rica. Thailand. They have lots of cool critters in Thailand, and lots and lots and lots of nudibranchs. I got tons of photos of those. But that's it, y'all. That's it. Any questions, comments, or observations? It's my contact information. If you want to check me out, chat me up one day. Glad to respond to an email. You can text or call me on my phone. I do respond. If I don't, I'm playing tennis, so you can call me back, or I'll call you back or text you back later on. I'm going to stop sharing. Hope everyone's had a chance to get that. Cool. So
I have another question.
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
You've seen these newbies. We have a lot.
Hey, that's what we need. Thanks, Jay.
Are there many accidents like deaths? I know you said there were some problems that people could avoid. And the reason I asked that is about 30, maybe 40 years ago, one of my neighbors began scuba diving and had an accident and actually passed underwater. And it was because she and her buddy got separated. I don't know what the deal was, because I really wasn't into scuba that much, but I knew that they got separated. She had some kind of problem with her oxygen tank, is what I understand. But her buddy was not there. And when they went back, of course, she was deceased.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that I couldn't even tell people that I was doing this, because other people that knew her and knew me, they'd be like, oh, no, don't do it. It's too dangerous.
So first, one correction. We dive on air, not oxygen. So you have an air tank. That's what we dive up on as divers. Accidents can and do happen, but they usually happen because of human error and being ill prepared. So your training, as you go through your open water diver training, you're going to learn how to keep yourself safe. You're going to learn all these skills. In case something happens, you'll know how to address it underwater. I think it's unfortunate. I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry that your friend passed away while diving, and I don't know the circumstances. I wasn't there now. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with the case either. But yeah,
No, they were separated. The buddy, she and the buddy got separated some kind
so
of.
one of the things that you're taught while you're diving is what do you do when you become separated from your dive buddy? You search for 60 seconds, and if you don't see them, both of you should make an ascent,
Right.
and go up and hopefully meet each other on the surface. And that at that point more likely have ended your dive, and the boat will be close by. You can signal for them to come get you. Deploy your SMB, your surface marker buoy, and wait for the boat to come get you. But that's what should happen when you're separated from your dive buddy. But if there's a medical emergency underwater, you are also taught how to help rescue someone, not rescue, but help bring them up to the surface. And that is a great segue to a course that everyone should take, and that's Rescue Diver. No matter if you're in PADI, NAUI, SSI, whatever it is, once you can, do take the Rescue Diver course. That course will change the way you dive, and it'll change your life for the better. Jean-Marie has hand raised. Jean-Marie?
Yeah, hi, thank you, Andrea, and hello, everyone. Any thoughts about how to diplomatically or otherwise tell a boat master that you don't want to stay with the buddy that was assigned to you?
I've had to do this. You just tell them you want to dive with that person, and you can ask, instead of saying it in a negative way, you could say, I would prefer to dive with you, saying the dive master, can we switch buddies? Just ask that way. You don't have to give them a reason why unless they ask. You can pull them over to the side. But I've had to do that before. I was like, I would prefer to dive with the dive master instead of diving with this person, or can we all dive with you together so that they can watch the other person? Because anyone else have any other suggestions? That's a great question. Any other instructors on here that want to answer that?
Hey, Andre, I'm not an instructor, of course, but I
Oh.
liked your presentation. First of all,
Thank
it was
you, sir.
good refresher. But one of the things I wanted to say is oftentimes people feel pressured to hurry up and get off the boat. And I think that we need to let people realize that you don't have to rush if you're not sure about something. And that's the pressure that people get. Oh, we got to get off, we got to be down. So if you're not comfortable, you just need to pause or let the dive master know what's going on and that you need assistance or you're not ready to go down with everybody else.
That is a perfect point, Will. Thank you so much for making that. You're right. But to not be the last person off the boat. So what's that expression? You don't have to get ready if you are ready.
Yes.
Say it right. So if the dive master, the boat captain's telling you we're going to be there in 10 minutes, you don't wait until you get to the site and start getting ready. You start getting yourself together before they get to the site so that you're not going to be holding up the boat and getting in. So you're not rushed. You're still taking your time, but you can still get in with everyone else without having to hold them up. That's a great point, Will. Thank you for saying that. Jennifer, go ahead.
Yes, I just kind of wanted to comment for Leslie, since she's newer to the club. Welcome. And I was new about 3.5 years ago myself. I was in your boat, and I could tell you firsthand that diving with this group, you will learn a lot. I was the only person I ever knew who dove. So coming in, I was paired up. You know, you have Aquacore, which I cannot sing their praises enough, who are absolutely looking out for us in the water. Especially as a newer diver, I would highly recommend coming to the summit because it's a way for you to get practice. You'll be surrounded by instructors who can give you feedback, and you have people watching out for you. So even if, let's say, you have a situation where maybe you're not paired with a good buddy, or you go with a friend, because that has happened to me, which is why I found NABS. Being paired up in the water and being left by myself, to the point of almost running out of air. I could tell you you're in good hands here, and just like get around us if you can, get around your local club, and you'll learn a tremendous amount. And great presentation, Andrea. Buddies are important. So I agree.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And yes, the presentation was excellent.
Thank you. But you all know that, so Aquacore, as Jennifer said, we can't sing their praises. Before I became an Aquacore, I was in awe of Aquacore. That's why I wanted to be part of the crew, because they were such great divers and they were always caring and helpful. And that woman I mentioned before, and I talked about when I first learned to, or did my advanced open water, that woman that helped me was Toni McNeil, the first woman president of NABS. So she didn't have to help me. She didn't even know me, but she did. And that's who NABS is. That's who we are. It's what we do. We help and support each other as we can and should. So this is my other, I have a scuba family, I got a dive family, I got a ski family, I got a tennis family, I got my Spelman family. So yeah, I got all these families, but yeah, this is another family, y'all. It's amazing. It is amazing.
Andrea,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm on the phone, so nobody can see me. But anyway, I wanted to comment about getting ready and getting off the boat because we just came from Mexico, from Cozumel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever been to Cozumel, you know it's drift diving. And there was lots of wind and a storm came through and we actually got blown out 2 days, which has never happened. But there were people who were slow moving and some of us were in the water and some of us were not. So I said to the ones who were behind me, sit down and wait. The boat will circle back and bring you to us. So don't be in a hurry to have to jump off the boat. The boat knows where the divers are and the boat will get you to where you need to be to catch up with everybody else. Because it's dangerous trying to get off a moving boat, especially when you're doing drift diving and the surf is up. So be careful about how you ready yourself to get off the boat because that's when accidents happen. People fall down, they fall off, all kinds of things happen. So don't be in a hurry to get off the boat. The boat knows where the divers are. You can be seen in the water. They see us. The captain sees you, sees us, those who are in the water, and they will get you to where you need to be. But as Andrea said, start getting ready, then you are ready. But sometimes when you stand up, stuff happens. Somebody's tank was loose. So we had to make an adjustment there. And because the drift was really so bad, we had to make adjustments in weight. So everybody helps everybody else. So don't feel as if you're so special because somebody is taking some time with you to make sure that everything that you're doing is correct. That's the way NABS dives.
Yes, ma'am. Point well made, Ruthie. I want to emphasize too, especially diving in Cozumel, anywhere there's good drift diving, the dive briefing will, the captains and the dive masters should brief you on the entry and how it's going to work. They should tell you that they're going to drop folks off and then come back around. They have to adjust because of the current. They should have told, hopefully they told you all that, but you have to remind people too sometimes the dive briefing is there for a reason. They give lots of great information. It's going to make your dive that much smoother and that much more enjoyable if you listen to the briefing. Yeah, thank you, Ruthie, for making that point.
And to Cortland's point about the dive briefing, when the briefing is going on, everybody needs to be still and be quiet.
Exactly. Be respectful. You're going to miss some great information if you're not. Excellent points. John Marie, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
This is an exciting conversation. This is where there are 3 of you. Any nuances there? Any other considerations? Are they just 3 divers rather than 2?
It's the same thing. You all agree on you do your buddy check. You know each other's gear. So I'm one person. I'm not going to know 2 other people's gear. I'm going to make sure I know what kind of computers they're diving with, and I can check their air, not check their air, but ask them to what am I trying to say? Gauges. Make sure we know those as well. There's nothing really different. Just make sure you all stay in your formation, plan that in advance. How are you going to be underwater? 1 in the front, 2 in the back, 2 all side by side. Wherever it is, you guys got to make that conversation, make that decision. But there really is no difference in terms of that. Are there other instructors on here who have different thoughts on that? Want to share?
No. Group diving works as well as buddy diving.
You know, and my thought,
Great, fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
I mean, it's covering some basic stuff. I need to probably turn my camera on. But always safety first.
Yes.
When you're diving with, 3, or I said I've dove many times, so I might be the only person that looks like me on a boat. And a lot of folks, like to your point earlier, they don't want to dive with you because they don't know you. And so I've learned to just sort of not be in a rush, recognizing that, I am going to be primarily responsible for my safety. So I'm checking all of my gear before I even get on the boat. I'm not going to wait till I get on the boat to start checking things out. That's not right. So make sure everything works before. If I know I'm going to be doing a dive in a week or 2 from now, I'm going to make sure I get in the pool someplace, myself ready. Okay. And then, everything else goes, just be out there to have fun and enjoy myself and not be as much of a liability if I can, But yeah, that was that's primarily what it's really all about. And I'm looking forward to Bonaire.
Bonaire. Thank you for making that point, Wesley. You're absolutely right. Check your gear before you even get on the boat. Make sure you know that it's working in great operating condition. Yeah, excellent point. I don't know any other questions, comments, observations.
Sometimes get outside.
Oh, nothing else is in the chat. Impressive. I like great presentation. Thank you.
I try to do any of that.
Well, they're asking for you to put your email in the chat.
Oh, absolutely.
I was saying,
I'll put, whoops, I can't spell president. I'm going to put my personal one and my president on there. I spelled it right? Yes.
I look forward to seeing everybody in Bonaire. We're going to have a fantastic time.
Yes, and there will be another presentation, I believe another safety tip with the vice president and myself, and we'll talk about shore diving. So that's going to be later on this summer before the summit. We haven't determined which month yet, but it's coming. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to take this moment. Oh, go ahead. Someone's going to say something?
Nope, I was about to say thank y'all very much.
I was just about to say that as well.
We want to gift you back some time for your Saturday. We appreciate y'all coming. And just so you know, for anybody that missed it, or if you want to watch the presentation again, Jennifer will be sending out a recording of the presentation through member planning. So make sure y'all are signed up.
Hey, I got a quick question.
Yes, ask away.
Andrea, can you put your contact information on the board again, please? I want to take a picture of it.
Yeah, let me reshare. Let me get back to the slide presentation. There you go. Can you see it?
Yes. Thank you very much. Done. Thank you.
I also put my personal email address in the chat as well.
Oh,
okay.
Andrea, I wanted to say one more thing because you were talking about buoyancy and, those fantastic people like Jay and Vanessa. And I just wanted to say to the new divers that neutral buoyancy is probably the hardest thing you will ever learn to do well. Yes. And we constantly work on that. But when you get there, I'm telling you, it is a feeling like none other.
Agreed, 100%. I don't think I'm there yet either. I'm not like Jay and Kamal and Vanessa because they are just, they
I know.
And they're like this, they don't move. Like,
I know, right? They make you sick.
Yeah. I want to be like them when I grow up.
Me too.
Me too.
Great divers, great divers. Y'all, this has been a great conversation. Thank you all so much. I look forward to seeing y'all soon. Thank you for coming. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
Diving soon.
Thanks,
Dive before you
Andrea.
get to the
All right,
summit.
y'all be
You're
safe.
welcome.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there's some more stuff coming in the chat this year.
Very great presentation. Have a great afternoon.
Thank
This is
you.
This is Thunder. I'm one of the original members of the Aqua Corps, and y'all are doing such a wonderful
Oh,
job, and I'm so proud of y'all.
nice to see you online. Thank you for
Yes,
coming.
yes,
Hopefully we'll see you at the summit.
yes, yes. Those are my plans.
Awesome.
Hey, Thunder, if you coming to the summit, go ahead and check in.
Okay,
We need to get you another polo. We done updated
okay,
some things.
okay. Absolutely.
All right.
I believe it is very nice. Very nice.